Indiana Jones. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute, the podcast in which we celebrate and discuss the film Raiders of the Lost Ark 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor.
I'm Pete Mummert.
I'm Gerry Porter.
And joining us again for the second day is Eric Drysdale. Welcome back.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome.
You're looking bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I trust you slept well?
Good to be here, yes.
Good. I'm glad. Because you're going to need all the energy you can get to talk about minute 32. That was a segue.
Yep.
You recognize it. Minute 32 begins with Indy shooting some glasses, and it ends with Indy getting his head slammed into the bar.
Well, one thing we talked about quite a bit last week was we're trying to figure out what these candle holders are on the table. And right at the beginning of this minute, the little guy pushes over the table to use as a barricade, and you see that candle holder, and I think it's a yak skull now, because it kind of looks like a hollow horn.
What way to slow down the action, Pete?
Yeah.
We're talking.
I believe
Yeah,
it's
I noticed
available at CB2 for $59.95.
Are you changing your tune on that? You think it's about the yak?
Remember.
The yak.
Yeah, I don't
holder?
actually remember
The
what my
yak
tune
skull?
was last week.
Are you guys scrubbing? Are you guys scrubbing through it? Are you guys looking at it frame by frame?
Pete probably. It sounds like.
Are we not supposed to be doing that?
You can if you want to. I mean, you got to find out about the wood somehow, right? Or the yak skull. Otherwise, what's the point of Raiders of the Lost Ark?
I can't weigh in on those.
Don't
'Cause I
feel
can't see
pressured to.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be all right.
Best if you stay out.
I like the Indy's main action at the beginning of this minute is just pulverizing a bunch of glasses on the bar. The one guy, like with the mustache, who actually looks like a Chicago gangster or something. He's behind the bar, and Indy clearly doesn't have a shot at the guy, but he's just pulverizing the glasses that are on the bar. And it kind of reminded me of The Jerk, actually. It's like, this guy hates glasses.
Yeah, it's great. Every single shot he takes hits a glass.
Yeah. I don't know if he ever shoots that guy. Well, I guess he eventually
No,
does,
yeah.
but he has help.
His gun
So
is still...
he's not shooting the glasses. He's missing something else, right?
I guess so, but watching the minute over and over again, it looks like he's just, well, I can't get that guy. I'm just going to ruin these glasses. It's like in a video game where it's like, well, there are no bad guys right now, but I can get some extra points and maybe a grenade or something. Or
Well, he kind of unloads. I mean, I don't really know because I don't watch it one frame at a time. But does he have more bullets than you might think?
He doesn't seem to need to reload as often as you would expect.
All right. I'm just curious. It's not an indictment.
No, it's a movie. He gets away with a lot.
Great
I like,
sound this minute.
Oh, go ahead, Pete.
I was just saying the sound's fantastic with the ricochet and the sound of the ricochets and the
Yeah.
Yeah.
the furious gunfight.
It sounds like every single gun has its own very distinct sound, it seems like.
Yeah, Indy's sounds like a cannon.
It does. And
There's
then like the rapid fire machine gun business sounds like it's like just, I don't know, almost like a water gun or something, like a powerful water gun. Like there's something kind of wet to it, like squishy or something.
Oh yeah.
There was actually an interview that Ben Burt did. He said when they were filming this, he and Dennis Muren were out at Skywalker Ranch in a canyon, and they were shooting They somehow got machine guns and were shooting machine guns back there illegally.
They have the best job in the world.
They did. I think someone called the cops on them.
And they
But I
called
think
George Lucas and made it all
it-
okay.
Turned out pretty good for this.
Yeah, it sounds great.
So did they just record that? Is that what they did? They just actually recorded machine guns out in a canyon?
I believe so. Yeah.
That's how you do it. That's logic.
Well, Eric mentioned something last week, yesterday, about how sometimes you incite your own demise.
Yes.
And I thought, the one guy who he's like, I have this great idea. Everybody runs to their corners. Indy kind of goes back to a little doorway or whatever. And when I actually saw that, I was like, oh my God, that's awful. Like, it's really claustrophobic. You're like, they're going to shoot you in 2 seconds. And henchman number 2, Mad Mongol or whatever his name is, he has this great idea. He's like, you know what? I've been in bar fights before. I know how this goes. I'm going to flip over the table and get behind it and use it as a barricade. And then that way, he clearly has the upper hand because Indy is ass against the wall in a little doorway with nowhere to go. And this guy's he can hide behind and shoot, and he's kind of ducked down a little bit. And you're like, oh, this guy's a pro. And it's not even really his fault.
Right.
It's what you're talking about with the glasses. Eric, you said, well, it's not so much he's trying to shoot the glasses. He's missing something else. And in this one, you see Indy fires and he shoots into the fireplace mistakenly.
Well, is it mistakenly?
I
that was
think
one of my
it's mistakenly.
questions.
Yeah, I think it's mistakenly.
I thought it was intentional because he turned the camera. When you look at his eyes, he turns his head to look at the fireplace before he shoots.
Oh wow,
Huh.
he's good.
Okay, I may stand corrected.
Well, here's a
know.
really important question for most of the action in these minutes and I admitted a couple weeks ago to not being a big drinker, but is alcohol actually this flammable? Like,
so.
would a puddle of whiskey go up like that?
I think so.
Okay. I mean, we've seen it with our own eyes, so.
I don't know that Zima would.
What about like a Bartles and James, let's say raspberry spritzer?
But I remember from chemistry casts seeing alcohol on fire.
Oh, sure, yeah. But I just wonder if actual ingestible spirits.
For some reason, I get the impression that what's on the table is just straight up hooch.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. It's probably not, Jim Beam or something.
It's It's that famous Mongolian mountain hooch.
Yeah.
There's a crazy old dude up in the mountain cackling and making his hooch.
And I think you say with that much alcohol, is that much enough to ignite a bar, or at least the entire table, and in this conflagration. And I think if you're a bad guy, then yeah.
Right. If you're the target of the good guy's clever scheme to set something on fire, then yes, absolutely.
But I don't know. Maybe Pete, you bring up a good point. Maybe he meant to shoot. But think about that. It's like if I shoot the fireplace. Now, granted, this is a guy who has a revolver?
Yeah, but it
45.
sounds like a cannon.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it does sound like a cannon. That's true. But you're like, okay, so he's got 6 bullets in there. If I shoot 3 into the fireplace, I may be able to dislodge a log that'll land on the. Because that guy he just knocked over the Mongolian mountain hooch, leaving himself fully exposed.
I would say I think it's unclear whether it's on purpose or not.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's serendipitous, at least. But, yeah. I mean, even if he was trying to do it, it's lucky that it worked.
Yeah.
Well, I thought here's this guy had a great idea, and it boomerangs on him, and I want to know, does he yell fire?
I've known Gerry, by the way, I've known Gerry my entire life, and he's got a thing. I don't know if it's like a condition or just like a mental block, but he can't hear foreign languages without thinking that someone is saying something in English. It happens at least 3 times in this movie alone.
It's cultural
centrism. Twice in 2 episodes so far.
It's what?
It's happened twice in 2 episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think he's saying, "Oh my God, fire!" and then he makes other gargles, and then he face plants Jesus pose.
By the way, that Wait, oh, okay. Oh, so Indy shoots him, right? He's freaking out because he's on fire, and then Indy shoots him in the face.
Before that, he shoots him in the forehead.
Yeah, but it looks like he might as well have just thrown a tomato at his face. It looks exactly like he gets hit with a tomato.
But one thing
Is that supposed to be a mercy killing?
Boy, that's a great question.
Like, does he actually think he's in danger? I mean, I guess it's a combination, but like...
Well, there's a guy in a little bit who's largely on fire, who doesn't seem to mind, and he's still going after Indy. So it's possible that he's seen this sort of thing before. He's like, well, the guy's on fire. That doesn't mean he's not going to come at me.
But this leads to one of my favorite things from movies and TV shows from the 70s and 80s. And those are those old fire suits. And like the guy with the fire do like that slow motion punching and walking. It's fantastic.
Where there's a figure twice as big as a human being should be that's on fire.
Right. Yeah. And suddenly there's a bunch of...
With a hat on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or whatever.
The best one of those, I think, is in The Thing. It's supposed to be like a minute ago it was like this crazy multi-tentacled three-headed thing, but now it's just like a big bulky dude on flames wandering into the snow.
It's always just the arm and back of the shoulder that's on fire.
Yeah.
Well, this maybe was for last minute, but I think it still applies for the whole scene. Is Indy just waiting outside the bar?
Oh, we brought that up last week too, yeah.
And if he is, he comes in, albeit at a saving moment. But what if he had come in a little bit earlier? Like, did he really wait till Marion kicked me out? Yeah, I'm gonna let her sweat this one out a little bit.
Let the Nazis have her for just a little bit.
Yeah, at least until Nick grabs the thing and does the.
Well, I can see like a cut scene of him leaving, and then over his shoulder he notices like these suspicious looking hoods.
Was he staying at the Best Western?
That's what I was wondering.
It'd be the Best Eastern.
He changed his clothes. The last time we saw him, he was on a plane in like a suit and a gray fedora, and now he's in his Indiana Jones costume. So he changed somewhere.
Yeah,
it was like a YMCA or something.
Yeah.
He does in that minute. I know we're going back a little bit, but he does, when she kicks him out and says, "Because I said so, see you tomorrow, Indiana Jones," he does have a strange glance. As you said, I think the light catches his eye.
Yeah.
He does have a sort of he pauses like, huh. And you wonder like, hey, now, maybe at that minute he's like, well, something fishy might be going on, or maybe I'm going to hang out a little bit.
I think that look is more, geez, I should have been nicer to Marion Ravenwood.
Yeah.
I've been a real jerk.
Oh, fair enough.
She was a child and she was in love and it was wrong and I knew it.
Yeah.
There's one part of this that really confuses me, and it still does. I figured, okay, I was 10, I didn't understand, but now I'm studying this as an adult minute by minute and it's going to make sense to me. We know that Indy's in that doorway, and that's kind of like that's his spot to shoot from right now. And it cuts to suddenly that other guy is on him in the doorway, and they're fighting in the doorway for a second, but it looks like they're outside because there's snow sort of billowing around. And there's like some wind sound. It sounds like they're kind of outside. Does anybody else get that?
I thought the guy had just opened the door from outside.
Yeah,
there's
that's
another
what I
guy
thought.
coming in.
Is that another guy?
That's another guy coming in. Yeah, right.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
the-
anher guy coming in. Because
the little guy's dead. The big guy, Nick, was behind the bar still.
Nick.
Oh, holy
Nick.
cow.
Yeah, no, the Chicago gangster guy.
Yeah.
That guy's.
Oh,
he's
you guys
still
are
firing.
good at this.
Yeah.
Wow.
I noticed that too because I was like, which one of these guys had the is it the perspicacity, the presence of mind to go around and be like, you know what, he's right by the door.
But wait, did they
How
all
about
come
the-
in
yeah.
together? Were they all inside at first? Like,
No,
how many
there were
guys
only
came in
4.
with tote?
There were just 3 plus totes. So this guy was pulling an Indy, and he was probably outside
Yeah.
watching Indy watching.
Well, again, that's standard, hood, henchman. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's standard henchman protocol.
Yeah.
Well, actually, right before that guy comes in and grabs him, there's something that confuses me. Is it looks like that gangster guy shoots him in the arm, like the machine
Shoots
gun
who in
guy
the arm?
shoots Indy.
Oh, wow.
Because the machine gun guy shoots, and then Indy kind of falls back like he got hit, and it looks like dust or smoke or something coming off of his arm like he got shot there. But then nothing else seems to indicate that happened.
Oh, weird.
I like that when the guy picks him up and starts smashing him against the door and stuff.
Yeah.
that he's really just a ragdoll. That he's like he's not much of a fighter. Like he needs a whip and a gun.
Yeah. That's totally true. And that happens to him a lot in these movies, it seems
Yeah,
like.
he just gets the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in the closing seconds of this minute, this guy lumbers over, and he just has Indy horizontal and goes, and throws him headfirst into a bar panel.
Hey, where you want this archaeologist?
And it looks like it takes about 45 minutes.
Oh, my God. I'm just watching right now because I wanted to... Oh, you're right. The guy comes from outside. Holy smokes. I never
That's
understood
a totally brand new guy we've never seen before.
You're right. But as those guys are fighting, they cut to that guy who's like... he's like... Before he gets clobbered by Marion from behind. Is he just like laughing at that fight going on? Is he just laughing at that guy pulverizing Indy?
Yeah, have you heard that the guy came in and surprised him?
That's hysterical. That's really funny.
I just looked at that. That's hysterical. He's totally in mid. Yeah, I guess he's like, hey, we won.
Hooray! I can relax now.
Well, that sound was apt, Tom, because Nick and the little guy, when they die, they make very Muppet-like sounds.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Although I don't think that guy's dead yet. In fact, he's not. Spoilers. Oh, how do we feel about... There's a lot of this in this scene, but how do we feel about the bullet through the barrel and Marion getting a drink?
Love it.
Yeah, we do. There's a lot of...
There's no controversy there. It's badass, and we love it.
It's just an objective fact.
Fair enough. I was just testing you.
But is the bullet... I was looking, is the trajectory a little funky?
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna go
because
with no.
it goes in the side and then comes out like a little bit of a JFK right angle thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, no, I think
I think it's been shot from another side as well.
Oh my gosh! You think that's
Simultaneously.
not one bullet? Somebody shooting from the snowy knoll
I think that there was a second shooter.
in a bar fight?
Yes, there's a lot of shooting going on.
I don't understand. Wow, that's crazy. I always assumed that was like just going right through the thing.
No, I thought it was that too, and then I was like, well, maybe it's an oak barrel, and that's kind of a harder wood. Maybe it ricocheted or something.
Yeah, it could have been a chunk of wood loosened from the bullet that then knocked into the other side. I don't know.
Well, even I'm still very much for it, even if I may have seen it the wrong way.
Me too. I feel the same way. I don't need to get out my compass and my protractor and figure out the trigonometry.
Well, it illuminates Marion's character.
Absolutely, it totally does.
I have to say, Eric, these guys and Jer's sister a couple weeks ago were floating the theory that Marion was cheating during the drinking contest before this scene. That she, that her guy who was serving the drinks was giving her brown water or something. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Not even close.
Nope.
East Coast
She
guys
blows
stick
smoke in a
together.
Nazi's face.
East Coast guys.
Yeah, she can handle herself just fine.
I may not have gone to Harvard, but I know where it is.
Well, I was saying, and I think
I went to a
be
comic
fair,
book store near it once.
I think what we were insinuating. Maybe it's not just serving Kool-Aid or New York seltzer water or whatever, but maybe she's doing the old pool shark thing where she's feigning, like, oh, I'm not gonna make this thing.
Oh, she could have been doing that.
And then she's like, Yeah, and then she's like, wait a minute, I caught my second wind and all your money.
Right. That's fair.
And we were talking about
That's
that.
legit.
Maybe it was part of the a little bit of drama at the local watering hole.
Yeah. Give the folks a show. Give the people what they want.
I think.
Look,
I
Mohan
think
is
the
their
point is that
employee.
I think the point is that she's badass.
Yeah. That's all that we're trying to say is that she's badass. And that
Yeah.
we
Or that
all
she's an
wish that
alcoholic.
we were dating her right now.
Yes.
That's all. Gosh, I can't believe that's another guy. I'm still trying to get over that. How old am I? How many times have I seen this movie and I never put that together?
I think that guy's laughing at you. He's like, oh my God, there's another guy.
You thought that was me or something. Well, all right. Does anybody have anything else for minute 32?
Nope.
Or should we see what happens tomorrow? Eric, I hate to do this to you, but do you want to just go home and then come back tomorrow again?
I will come back tomorrow.
We should do these all at once. That'd be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Next
It's okay.
time.
I'm in town.
Okay, good. This is working out.
And
Okay.
by that I mean a town with a computer in it.
Yeah, you're in a town.
Yeah.
This is just one global town now.
Yeah.
Pete, if anybody wants to sleep over tonight, where can they get in touch with us so we can tell them what sleeping bags to bring and stuff?
Come join us at IndianaJonesMinute.com. You can find all of our episodes. You can subscribe to our podcast there. You can leave us a review. If you're spending the night, we've actually also got a section there, too, where we talk about all the latest news in archaeology. So check it out.
That'll put you to sleep. And after we do Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board, we can all go to sleep and then come back tomorrow for minute 33 of Raiders of the Lost Ark here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
Oh.
You all right, Gerry?
Fire!
Ah! Ah! Ah!